Angela from 90 Day Fiancé finally shared a real weight loss photo shoot with Us Weekly, and oh my god, you guys, these pictures are unbelievable. So I don't want to waste any time, but I do have to give thanks and credit to Us Weekly for sharing these pictures. So I'm going to share their article above or below this video if you want to check it out for yourself. But oh my god, you guys, let's look at these freaking pictures. There is the first one. No, that's not, Martha Stewart. That is freaking Angela from 90 Day Fiancé. There she is. I mean, this is unbelievable. Not only has she lost a ton of weight, Angela could have said that she actually did lose 90 pounds, about 85 to 90 pounds, which is just unbelievable. And if you don't remember, there's a before picture. That's Angela before. Nothing against her, but she was, like she said, she was 85 to 90 pounds bigger. She was a much bigger. She even came out and said it. She loved to eat cake. She was eating a ton of junk, but she got this weight loss procedure and she lost 90 pounds. So that is the first picture right there. Oh my god, she looks so much skinnier, but she just looks better. There is another one right there. Once again, she truly just looks like a freaking different person. You can kind of see it in her face where you go, okay, yeah, that is Angela, but it almost looks like it's not even her, like it looks that different. You can call me dramatic, but she definitely looks different. And like in this picture right here, it's another one right there, you can see, oh, okay, yeah, that is Angela, but I mean, she looks freaking different. So here's the deal. She did come on Us Weekly and did an interview with them, and she basically just shared that she lost 85 to 90 pounds. She had the weight loss procedure done in California. Here's kind of the kicker, though. She did not have one procedure, or two, or three, or four. She had 5. She had 5 freaking procedures done at one time. I don't know exactly what was what. I do know one of them was called the sleeve, the weight loss thing. I have never heard of it. I don't know what they do. I don't know what it is, but that's what she called it. She also said because they were taking so much weight off, she had a reduction of sorts on different things, if you know what I'm talking about. So that happened too. And then she had some other lipo thing, whatever the heck that even is. And then she claims, those were the first 3. Then she claims once they actually got in there, I don't know the specific, but she claimed once they started looking at things, they realized she had some other issues and she had to get those issues worked on too. I don't know what. I'm not a big, medical person, so kind of disgusting, but that is what apparently happened, that she had, literally 5 different things going on. She was out for 6 hours, and it was a huge deal that she had this procedure in California, and her daughter and everyone else was saying, why are you doing this at once? Why don't you do them at separate times? Because that's a lot to do at once. And she said, no, I'm going to California one time, I'm going to do it once and be done, and that is it. So, oh my god, Angela, freaking Angela, she looks totally different. And I can only imagine you're probably wondering, well, hey, is Michael, her new husband, happy about it? And she basically just said no, he was not happy before. She didn't really comment how he's feeling now, but she said before, I guess procedures, weight loss, stuff like this in Nigeria is not common at all. And it's like, it's not, you don't do that in Nigeria, according to Angela. So she was like, no, he was not happy. He was actually kind of mad. He was very concerned and worried, but she did it. And I mean, she looks really good. So I can only imagine he's gotta be happy. I wouldn't think he's mad now, because I think his anger was just with the fact that it's kind of dangerous. It could be scary. Who really knows what's gonna happen? But now that she's safe and healthy, I could only imagine he's happy. But let me just say real quick, guys, if you are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe or follow button. And also, if you are not new to this channel, there is a big, beautiful button. It is a fantastically gorgeous button below called the share button. And if you want to hit it, it looks even prettier when you hit the button, and you can share it with a friend. You can share it with a random person on a street corner. You can share it in a Facebook group. It doesn't really make a difference to me, but it means the world to me if you share this video on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. I love you guys all so dearly. If you have not already subscribed, please make sure to subscribe. And now back to the rest of this drama. So comment below what you guys think, and I already know everyone's gonna say, oh my god, Max, you're being so dramatic, but I'm just gonna show that picture of her in the blue again, and you can call me dramatic all you want, but she freaking looks like a totally different person. I don't care with a professional picture like that, because the pictures we got to see of Angela before, they were just on crappy cameras, and you could barely even see what we could see she lost a ton of weight, but you could barely even see what was going on. So now that we get to see it like this, I mean, it is like, oh my god, she has lost a lot of weight. So yeah, comment below what you guys think. I don't care if y'all call me dramatic. I'm telling you, she looks different. But anyway, that is Angela. Now, while we are on the topic of 90 Day Fiancé, we have some more 90 Day Fiancé news. And that is 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life, the show on Discovery Plus. We have 90 Day Bears All. That show is pretty good. Then we have 90 Days Single Life, and I'm curious, does anyone actually watch this show? I am so freaking wishy-washy. I have a hunch, and I could be wrong, so don't you dare quote me. Don't come after the messenger. But I have a hunch that this season is about to get really good. We're finally starting to see some stuff actually go on. The first couple episodes, it was more of the people on the show that are now single talking about their exes that they were on 90 Day Fiance with. Well, blah, we've already seen that. We already know what's going on with that. Now they're kind of talking about where they are in their life, and that was kind of blah too. But now we are starting to see all of them go on dates. That's the whole point of the show. And now I think it's starting to kind of get good. Number one, we got to see Danielle. We got to see her go with Muhammad in the last episode. That was completely pointless, and really, there was nothing even going on. But now her and her girlfriends are going on a girls trip, and her girlfriends downloaded some dating app, Bumble or something, and they were actually, they were doing it on behalf of Danielle, and they were saying, this is, for my friend Danielle. These are her pictures. We are her friend trying to find her a man, and guess what? They found her a man. Now, I'm going to try and see if I can find his picture. I don't know if I can, so don't get mad at me if I can't, but I'm going to try to post his picture right there, and they found a guy. He was a good-looking guy. He had agreed to go on a date, and they went on a date, and oh my god, it was number one, crazy awkward. Number two, he literally denied her. Now, I mean, it could have been worse. The guy could have said, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then just never come back. Like, he had no interest, and I'm starting to kind of wonder, and I mean this with literally zero offense. I don't mean to offend Danielle, but I'm starting to kind of wonder, okay, what pictures did they really show of Danielle? Because when he saw Danielle, this is going to sound so real, but when he saw her, I feel like he was like, okay, this is not what I signed up for. He was like, it looked like in his face, he was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm getting catfished. Then when I think he saw the cameras, he was like, what am I doing? So he sat there, they went back and forth very little. He wasn't saying anything, and then finally the guy just said, look, I'm definitely looking for a connection with someone, and I'm just not seeing this with me and you, which, oh my god, I'll tell you what, I have been on my fair share of dates, and I have never said something so direct. Maybe I should. I feel like that was incredibly rude. You hurt her feelings. If anything, don't lie, but if anything, just kind of lie. Don't. I'm not saying he should have ghosted her. I'm not saying he should completely just cut her off, but couldn't you say something a little bit nicer, like, hey, I think you're sweet, I think you're great, but for one, here's one pointer, you don't even live here. She lives in Ohio. They're in Maryland, so that's what if I was this guy, I would have said, hey, I think you are a very nice person. I would love to be your friend, but you don't live here. It's the long distance. I don't want to bother. Let's just be friends. That is what I would have said, but this freaking guy just said, no, I don't feel the connection. This is not working. And that's it. So he goes, can I walk you to your car? He did say, let's just be friends, but he said a lot of kind of mean things after. So she was obviously offended, and she even did say that it totally killed her confidence because this guy just denied her. But I want to also say he was totally out of her league. So it's kind of like, what do you freaking expect? So I don't know what in God's name pictures they are showing of Danielle on this dating site, but I believe we're going to be seeing more of Danielle dating on the next upcoming episodes. So we got to see Danielle get denied, and like I said, it was freaking awkward. Then we saw Ed. I'm going to keep Ed really quick. I'm sorry. If you like Ed, I'm sorry. I can't stand the guy. Here's the deal with Ed. Ed is, number one, a spoiled brat. His mom lives with him, and his mom is basically taking care of him. He's acting like he's taking care of her. Okay, it's flip-flop. It's not even remote. That is not even remotely the case, number one. Number two, he is going on his second date with this woman who is totally completely out of his league. There she is, and it looks like he's starting to kind of tiptoe around the idea that he wants to actually date her. I kind of thought at first that she knew this was going on like a romantic date, not like a friendly kind of date, but no, now I'm kind of thinking, what? I don't know what she thinks he's trying to do. Because if she knew, okay, he wants to literally go on a romantic date, that would mean that she knows he wants to date her. But the more he's talking, the more I'm like, I don't know if she even knows he's trying to date her. So it's very weird. They went on a second date. They went and did yoga. Of course, Ed was complaining. Shocker. And it wasn't very entertaining. The only kind of entertaining thing for me is just seeing, okay, I'm trying to figure out what does she think of him, because we got to see they go on a third date. Now, how he convinces her to go on a third date, I have no idea. But he does, and on this third date, guess what Ed does? Ed goes in for a big one of these, for a smooch. And she says no. She completely denies him. She turns her head, she goes like this, and he says no. And so that's when I'm like, okay, what was she thinking? Now, I don't know what the levels of dating are. I feel like if you're on a third date and you are feeling each other, that's probably a normal thing to do. It's not a first date. It's not like they just met. So I don't know why she denied him. Maybe it was too soon. I don't know. but I'm starting to kind of think it's probably not too soon if it's a third date. The issue probably is she has no interest in this guy. So I'm kind of I'm just undecided how I feel on this whole situation, but definitely very crazy if she ever would ever in a million years date this guy. But seeing her deny him basically just tells me it's not going to be happening. And then there was Fernanda and her guy Robbie. The long drawn out story, I'll make it real condensed and short, is basically Fernanda met a guy at her gym who is a cocky lawyer who drives a nice beautiful Maserati. That was the first thing. He asked her on a date. They went to an expensive steakhouse. I think she thought he was kind of judgy and kind of cocky, and I think she thinks on the surface he's very attractive, which he's a good looking guy for sure, but I think she's kind of starting to think on the inside he's kind of just not, I think she's starting to kind of realize he's not very genuine. So they went on the date, it went well, whatever, wasn't a great thing. Then they ended up going out again the next day, and she invited Robbie, but this time all of her friends were there, and it was kind of weird because they were at a restaurant and they were hanging out, and then Robbie and her were like, going at it, and all of her friends were sitting there watching them go at it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not one for PDA, but you guys, what in God's name are you two doing? We're there at a freaking restaurant. So I thought that was definitely kind of strange that they were doing that, and then the next night, the producers asked them, or the next day, she said, Fernanda, did you and Robbie hang out in your room and have a grand old time? And she said, she kind of had a little bit of a smirk, and she blushed a little bit, and she said, no, we did not, because she claims because of Jonathan, her ex, she doesn't want to open up and do that. But honestly, if I'm going to tell you all the truth, I feel like Fernanda is just starting to realize the guy's not a bad guy, but I think she's, he's one of those mysterious, kind of a clever James Bond, thinks he's really slick kind of a guy. And does anyone really, unless you're a complete sucker, which I kind of think Fernanda kind of is, but unless you're a complete freaking sucker, does anyone like those guys? So those guys are never actually real, and they're never true, they're never honest, and they're typically players. So I think she's starting to kind of realize, I'm going to slow this down a little bit, and I do have a spoiler. I love a good old spoiler, and the spoiler is that it looks like Fernanda has met a new man, and his name is not Robbie, because on her Instagram, she's posting with a different guy, and yeah, it is not Robbie. He sure kind of looks like Robbie, but it is not Robbie. So I can only imagine this relationship with Robbie does not last much longer. And then there was Molly and Kelly and Molly's two daughters. Now, once again, the real quick story is this. Kelly, Molly's boyfriend, kind of, I guess. He's from New York. He came down to Georgia. He's hanging out with her. They're having a pretty good time. I feel like they're definitely in the honeymoon phase. Kelly seems to be a nice guy. Nothing against him. I just think Molly could do a hair bit better, but he does seem to be a really nice guy. A little bit chubby, but nothing wrong with that. It's just, I think you could do a little better. But anyway, he definitely good personality, funny guy. I think he does well for himself. He's not a Creighton. He's nothing like Louise. Let's just say that and leave it at that. He's definitely a step above Louise. So that is good. He's here. They're doing God knows what together in the bedroom, and supposedly that's real exhausting. But the next day after all that stuff went down, he got to meet Molly's two daughters, one of the little one, and they had a real cute connection. They're really hitting it off. That was kind of sweet. And then there was also some interaction with Molly's older daughter. And the interesting thing is Molly got her older daughter in jail. So I don't know when this was filmed. I don't really know what is going on. I know around October, though, Molly and her older daughter got into a ginormously huge fight. And like I said, she literally had to go to jail. So kind of weird. I don't see Molly and this guy working out, honestly. If he was living in Georgia, there's a possibility. But because it's long distance and their connection seems to just be kind of like, yeah, not bad, not blah, just kind of like, yeah, not great, not horrible, kind of in the middle. But because of that long distance, I don't think they're going to be making that work. And if you are wondering, we did not get to see Brittany, and we did not get to see Colt, I don't think. But if we did, they are very short-lived. But we did get to see a preview for Colt and Vanessa, and at this point, they are now dating, I believe. And oh my God, where do you think they're going to go on their first freaking date? They can go to, I don't know, McDonald's, they can go to a Chipotle, or they can go on a double date with Jess and her new husband, Brian. So, I mean, this is what I put my foot down. I know you guys can't see that. I put my foot down, and you know what? I'm just like, this is so freaking stupid, because the reality of all this whole situation in life is Jess and Colt and Vanessa would never, ever, I forgot how much Vanessa and Jess hate each other. They would never go out to dinner together. Never, ever in a million years. But Colt claims that because Jess and her new man Brian moved to Vegas, he wants to kind of take them out. And now they're going to go out on a double date. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. That is what I call forced content by 90 Day Fiancé saying, okay, Jess, okay, Colt, you're on our payroll. You must go out together, and that is that. That's a bunch of crap. That is not real, not true. They would never go out together in a million years, and I can only imagine if Jess is still mad, if she actually is mad, there will probably be some drama. Well, all right, y'all. Angela, 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life, we got some drama, and oh my God, I'm not going to say what, y'all, but I have some interviews coming up that are going to rock your socks off. What is that saying? Rock your socks off? Or I don't even know. I don't know what that saying is. I'm going to tell y'all one thing. I have some interviews with the Slayton, if you know the Slaytons, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. The Slaytons with Tammy and Amy. I am not saying that Tammy and Amy are going to come on my channel yet, because they are going to come on my channel one way or another. I'm going to make that happen. But I have some other people that are very involved in that family that are likely going to be coming on here very soon, and I think it's going to be a freaking blast. And we also have some 90 Day Fiancé drama couples that, oh my God, you guys, it is going to be freaking unbelievable. So make sure to stay tuned for those videos and interviews. They'll be coming up in the next week or two. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, if you are new, if you are not new, it don't make a difference to me. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like button, share button, comment button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.